Welcome back to the Figures and Flippy Shit podcast. Today we're going to talk about our experiences on the Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea.
Yes.
This was supposed to come out yesterday, but all the change in weather pretty much blew up Susan's sinuses.
So I am sick.
Yes.
Minus that's why I have no makeup on. I probably won't talk much during this.
Yeah.
But yes.
So we'll go ahead and dive in.
Best vacation ever, to sum it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, to start with, a lot of people ask me, was it worth it?
Totally.
150,000%, yes, it's worth every single penny that you put in it.
Absolutely, yes.
Where to even begin? From the moment that you get on the ship, this is our first time, and you get lanyards when you get on the ship that tells you, how many you've been to. And it's like you would think that it would be a way to click people, but it's not. The cruise is not clicky at all. Literally when you get on the ship and people start talking to you, they're like, welcome to the cruise family, welcome aboard,
Yes.
Excited to have you. Everybody treats you like you're one of their own on the cruise.
Yeah,
The cruise
is really cool.
It is. It's like a little community out in a little wrestling community out in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
But as far as a lot of people also ask me, the other biggest question I get, they're like, do the wrestlers just walk around on the ship with you? Yes.
Yeah.
They do. They're
really
in all
cool.
the common areas. You could eat right beside them in the cafeteria.
Yes. And there's little common rules too. You don't go up to a wrestler when they're eating.
Or
if they just look busy, you just don't go up and bug them.
No.
That's just common courtesy.
No, you gotta pick your shots.
Yes.
And as long as you pick your shot correctly and they're not eating or they're busy, everybody that we ran into was very nice, very cordial about it.
Yes.
And just, it made you feel that much more welcome because essentially you and all of these wrestlers and Chris Jericho himself are all taking a vacation together.
Basically,
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So you respect their space as it's their vacation, even though they are working with the wrestling and stuff. It's still their vacation. But as long as you're respectful, they're respectful back. We didn't have any issues at all, and this was our first time. So it was a little harder for us to pick our shots because we're not used to this. But if you do it right, everybody's super, super nice.
Yes.
And you can see, we're going to have a slideshow of the pictures going along with this audio, and you'll see some of the people that we met. Dante Martin, Ruby Soho, Austin Gunn, Sheeta, Willow Nightingale. It's a good list. And going back to the experience of all going on vacation together, if you do things correctly and you're not obnoxious, you could end up in a situation where we talked to Ruby Soho for 30 minutes?
Right.
About just TV shows?
And the thing that she said was that she's not the event. She's just here to be part of the event.
Mm-hmm.
So just basically just treat them like they're normal people and it'll be fine.
And what's awesome about a setting like the cruise, we learned from talking to her that what she told us about not being the event, she was told to her by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so you get to hear cool stories too.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool experience. So I would warn you, if you're not really much into that party vibe, probably not for you, because it is basically a booze cruise.
Yeah, it's a 4-day party.
Yeah, so it's very fun. You're called the Ragers.
Yeah.
So it's very fun though.
And say what you want about Chris Jericho, but the man knows how to throw a party.
It's very fun.
It was.
So the very first night, Fozzy had a concert where literally as we are leaving the port, it's this Fozzy concert.
Fozzy
really
literally
cool.
plays you out of the court or the port, not court. But it's really cool, just to hear the music and to see everything pass by, to see Miami get further away.
Yeah.
You got a drink in your hand because you're on the boat. It's fantastic. It's the first time in my life that I've ever looked around and taken in my surroundings and thought, my life's fucking awesome. That doesn't, if you know me, that doesn't happen for me. I'm good at finding the negative in life.
It was really fun.
Yeah. But at that moment, I had no negatives to find.
Every night there were matches. There were so many matches.
Yeah, and the fun thing is everybody always says, go to a house show rather than a live show because it's more fun. It's 4 days of house shows, essentially.
It is.
It's house show nonsense.
So fun.
And it's great. We saw Dante Martin hit a Canadian destroyer into the pool on Sammy Guevara. We saw Jericho team with Danhausen.
You can see that on our YouTube video before this one. I'm pretty sure that's included. So all the videos that I took from the cruise are in a video by itself before this one. So make sure you check that out.
So it's wonderful house show nonsense. You could tell everybody's having a great time. And you could tell a lot of thought is put into it. And I went to Toyhio yesterday. Susan couldn't go because of illness. But I got to talk to Charlie Ramone. If you don't know Charlie, he's big on Ethan Page's channel. He does a lot of backstage stuff. Super nice guy. But he told me, he said, this, because I had my cruise shirt on, and he asked me, how was the cruise? Did you enjoy it? And I told him pretty much everything that we've said so far. And he said that, Chris Jericho takes those comments seriously. Like, the cruise is his baby. He pines over it all year. He said that he meticulously plans it and scrutinizes it and tries to get every detail down to a science. And it clearly shows.
You can tell.
It shows. You could tell it was put together with love, and not as just a cash grab.
And on the cruise that we were on, so we were going to go to the Bahamas, but we didn't actually get to go on land, fortunately for us, because of weather.
Yeah.
But they literally had this backup plan, though, to kind of make up for it.
Yeah.
Because wrestling was canceled one evening.
Yeah, wrestling got rained out that night.
We weren't able to dock.
Or the night before. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they came up with this really cool thing, though, that kept us entertained the rest of the day.
Yeah.
We got wrestling, and it was just fun.
Because for a second, when the wrestling was canceled, everybody kind of got discombobulated because everybody was like, this is what we planned to do.
We didn't really know what to do with ourselves.
We didn't know what to do with our evening, so I went to the casino and lost $50. But when we got up the next morning, they had new schedules delivered with a whole new layout.
And it was like, they had it like at our door. Like the new schedule was there, so you clearly were not going to miss on what was going on.
And it was cool. It worked gangbusters for me. Like they scheduled like bingo with Vicky Guerrero. I got my casino money back. I won $200 playing bingo. It was $213 playing bingo. And then they had a bar crawl, like a daytime bar crawl that was called like the Weather Fucking Sucks bar crawl or something. And you could enter your little passport into a drawing. Well, I won something from that drawing. I got a reusable water bottle from the cruise.
Yes.
And then there was a Q&A scheduled with Jericho where you could submit questions beforehand, and they would pick it. It was hosted by him and Brad Williams. It was a really informative Q&A. It was really cool to listen to him talk, and like I could hear him tell wrestling stories all day.
Yeah.
It was just really cool, some of the stuff that he said. But continuing with my good luck, one of my questions was picked for that Q&A.
Yeah.
Brad Williams butchered my name, but it's okay. It's easy to do.
This quick.
Yeah. But I don't blame Brad. It's easy to mess up my name. It's not common. And then after that, I went to the casino and I got a little bit of money back out of the slots. So even though we didn't go to the island, it was a good day for me.
And that day was fun on the boat because it was pretty rough waves. So but everybody on the boat they're making jokes about it. Like the other people on the boat, like you'd be walking and you would clearly be swaying back and forth. But people would make jokes. They're like, "Oh, am I drunk or is the boat just rocking?" Like it was fun and the wrestlers incorporated it into their move sets and so
kudos to them for wrestling that night because it was
Nyla
cold.
Rose kind of incorporated in there. The Guns were really cool about how they incorporated their moves into it, and which we kind of figured that the Guns were going to win the titles just of how they won the main event.
Yeah,
so
they beat Danhausen and Jericho in the main event, and everybody was I remember the crowd was so upset.
Right, but then everybody thought about it, and they're like, "Oh, the Guns are probably going to win the title, so they can't lose this. They're in a title match." So it made sense why they lost on the ship because they are now the tag team champions.
Which is crazy because it's not exactly like kayfabe's alive on the ship.
No,
which is interesting.
No, the Guns are they are so full of Austin Gunn is so nice and so full of energy he's so fun.
Yeah. And thanks to the conversation with Ruby Soho, I learned a little bit more about his tattoos. I'm not going to tell that story. That's not my story to tell. If you want to find out, go on the cruise and ask Austin Gunn. Nicely. Ask him nicely.
Yeah, it was fun though. Yeah, wrestling every night. There was rock shows every night. There was Legend meet and greet. We got to meet Mickie James, who was really awesome. She was really sweet.
Yeah.
We didn't meet anybody that was mean. Like, I don't really have like a bad story to tell you.
No.
Honestly. I don't have like a bad experience with a wrestler. Like, we don't have anything negative.
Yeah, I can't think of one single negative thing to say about the cruise.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Is there anything else that you think we should talk about with the cruise? Because I don't know.
I don't know. And even, like, I will say this. If you, and I'm sure this is probably the case for all cruises, maybe, I don't know, this is the first cruise I've been on. But when you get to Monday morning and it's docked, they're ready for you to get the hell off the boat. We were off the boat Monday morning by 8.
Which is whenever we were supposed to start the process.
Yeah, they get job
so, and I will say though, this is kind of kudos though to the cruise, because it did not take. They were so organized getting everybody on the boat.
Yeah,
and even just once you get to the port, like the environment is like you walk in with the other ranger, like the people that's going to be on the boat.
Yeah,
and the environment is just so relaxed.
It is
so chill. Like,
it is. The couple that we ended up spending most of our time with on the cruise, we met them literally in the terminal waiting to board the ship.
Shout out Josh and Jessica. They became our besties. We literally met them on the port before we even got onto the boat, and we laughed about something. I don't remember what it was, and then we just kind of connected.
It was how energetic the guy was boarding everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just kind of connected, and just because I found out she's basically like my twin.
Yeah.
And you and Josh held a pen the same way. That's all you guys had in common. But it was just very fun.
It was.
And it was, I don't even think we can stress how much of like a community it felt like.
Yeah.
Like everybody was so like, they looked out for each other. They helped each other out. There was never like during wrestling, this one guy he called like Jada whore or something like that, and the fans,
they turned on him,
were so upset. They started bullying the guy because it's just not a negative environment. People shut down negativity as much as they could.
Yeah, it's definitely not a place to be negative.
No, it's just a fun place. So if you are a wrestling fan that's like, are they snarky? Is that what they're called?
Smarky.
Smarky. I mean, aren't they still snarky? But anyway, that's probably not the best place for you. If you literally are the type of person that makes fun of Chris Jericho, makes fun of AEW, makes fun of anything like that, not the best place for you. But if you're a nice person that wants to have fun, well, I'm not saying that they're not nice.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Not that you're not nice. But if you just don't take wrestling that seriously, and you just think it's fun, and you think it's a fun environment to be involved in, then it's for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Just, if you're like me and get sick a lot, take a lot of like immunity boosting things before. That's my plan next time, which next year we hope to see you guys there, because we determined we're going back. Fozzy was singing. We've been on the boat like an hour. We were just leaving the port, and Chris Jericho announced, hey, we're doing 5 Alive, our next cruise, January 26th through the 30th, going to, where at in Mexico?
Cozumel.
Yes, going to there in Mexico. And we were like, yep, we are.
It wasn't a question of, we'll have to figure that out, or no, it was, we just looked at each other and we said, we're there.
We are totally there.
Our January 26th to 30th is already booked up.
We are so pumped. It's just, it's a nice escape. Like, no social media. I mean, yes, you could buy packages.
You could buy the internet package, but it's ridiculous.
But it's just like, you don't have to worry about the outside world. Like, you are literally secluded on this boat of people that just want to have a good time like you.
Yeah, and there's wrestling.
And they like, it's like this little niche group that's really fun. So
yeah. And and the activities on there are fun too. There's karaoke every night. That's always fun.
Karaoke is awesome.
The guy that they got to host it, Brock, I think was his name. Brock's really good at his job. He brings a lot of energy.
Yes.
We got to watch Eddie Kingston play Family Feud with Jericho, and Eddie Kingston was hilarious.
Eddie Kingston is the nicest person I think they're all really nice, but Eddie Kingston is very friendly.
Yeah.
he came out and just hung out many times.
Yeah.
Like, he was very friendly.
Yeah.
Everybody was really friendly, though.
Yeah, we didn't have a bad experience with anybody. Jade, she did, when we did the photo op with Jade. To be clear, when you do the photo ops, they are photo ops. They're not meet and greets. So be aware of that when you go on the cruise.
You will be rushed.
Yes. Same when they do the autograph sessions.
The guns were not just doing autographs. So they literally had to have security come stand by the guns on the ship because they weren't doing things. They wanted to stop and they wanted to hang out with the fans.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this is just autographs. So the guns had to have security to keep them on track because they wouldn't stop talking to the fans.
So when you're doing the photo ops and stuff, it's not the wrestlers that rush you.
No, it's
not. Because we got rushed along when we were talking to Jericho Appreciation Society because me and Matt Menard were talking. And Matt Menard was still talking to me and they were like, keep it moving.
Yeah.
And it's like...
So it's not the wrestlers, it's the kind
Menard
of
was
people...
talking to me.
That's kind of like the people kind of trying to keep like the security and just keep it flowing, which I get it. There's thousands of people on this boat. So I get there has to be a system. Not knocking that system at all.
No, but like just... If you do go on the cruise and it's rushed like that, don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's not...
It's no one's fault. They just pretty much want to make sure that the wrestlers aren't stuck in this place.
I have seen a lot of people say that Daniel Garcia was not that friendly. And Ricky Starks was not that friendly, which we did not have bad Daniel Garcia, I just think he was in character. Because we have a picture of him where he literally is just in character, but then Jake Hager's with us. He's like laughing. I just think he was in character. And Ricky Starks... he's the only wrestler that asked us our names.
Yeah.
And he was like super friendly. So I think it just depends on
how
you approach them, when you
because
approach
we
them,
saw Ricky Starks. We saw Ricky Starks several times throughout the cruise, and he was always busy whenever we saw him. At one point, he was tanning, but he was on the quiet deck, so you do not bother them up there.
No, because Anthony Bowens was up there, and people wouldn't stop bothering him. He was on the very top deck. He was just trying to get a tan, so he had to leave.
Yeah, and
he wasn't mean about it by any means.
No, but I mean, with Anthony Bowens, like every single person he walked by wanted to scissor him because you know that's what you want to do when it's Anthony Bowens.
And he
needed a place to escape, so he went to the sun deck.
And I'm not want to say he was. Like, he encouraged it. He liked doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you need a break.
Yeah.
So.
There's only so much he can do before he's all scissored out. But yeah, but the other time we saw Ricky Starks, he was at the craps table with Dan Lambert. I'm not going to go disrupt any table that contains Dan Lambert. I'm not going to do that. I'm sure Dan Lambert's a nice guy.
I've heard he was really nice.
Yeah, we didn't get to meet him because every time we saw him, he was playing craps.
Yeah. I thought it was crabs, not craps.
No, it's craps.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, CRAPS, craps.
Oh, lesson learned.
Yeah.
How old am I? 34, and I learned this lesson today.
Yeah, you could play craps more than just the bathroom.
Oh man! As soon as you did that, I actually kicked so it's like perfect.
Oh man, you got excited there. But no, going back to the community of people we met. A good example for me is I met a couple guys on there, Sean and Bobby, and shout out to those guys. Those guys are incredibly nice. Shout out to Bobby for his costume. Because with the first night that I met Bobby, he had like a mustache and he had like really curly hair. The next time I saw him, because he warned me, he actually caught me and Susan in the hallway. And he said, hey, I'm going to do Trash Man from It's Always Sunny. Which I was like, I'll be interested to see how this works. And you see him the next day, and he has shaved his mustache, and he shaved his own head to leave the bald spot. 100% commitment from Bobby.
People were coming up to my thing and being like, I love your commitment.
Yes.
Your commitment's awesome.
Yes.
But there was AEW Jesus.
Yeah, he was also there.
I'm sure you guys have seen this one because he scissored.
I think it's part of like the official Jericho Cruise hype video now.
Yes.
I think it's further cemented in.
It was just little fun, and there's just like little fun things that like inside jokes.
Yeah.
Like if you don't go to the cruise, you're not going to know what washy, happy means.
Yeah. You're not going to understand why the hell 20 years later Razzle Dazzle's over. Like you're not going to
yeah, like it's fun. It's like this little inside community. Yeah. I love it.
And there's a lot of people that bring some fun stuff. We met a couple, Sal and Monica. They brought a big pair of scissors that Monica had found at Party City, and they decorated, and they got all the wrestlers to sign it. There's a video of me scissoring the scissors.
Which you can see in our previous video with all of like our little videos from the cruise.
Sal actually got involved in a match behind us when we were in line for a photo op, where a guy with the Money in the Bank briefcase hit him and cashed in on him.
So fun.
So it's fun stuff like that. Everybody's just there to have fun.
And there's like, lesson learned for us. There are like themed nights. Do it.
Yeah.
Because we were so focused on just getting there. We didn't know what to expect when we got there. We are for sure doing like #1 fan nights.
And I think we can eliminate enough stuff that we packed this year to make room to take that stuff.
We packed enough, but now we know what the cruise and the honestly Norwegian Cruise Line, the Pearl ship that we were on, it had like, because we'd never been on a cruise before, and everybody kept saying there's no storage space. You have to bring storage space. Norwegian cruise ship, the Pearl ship that we were on, I don't think we needed any additional.
No, we had
space.
open space left in the room that we weren't even using.
So much storage space. There's
and that was in the cheapest stateroom.
Yeah, it was amazing. So if you do go on this cruise and you're worried about storage space, just keep in mind they have a lot of storage space there.
Yeah.
But
because I think there was a whole bunch of stuff that we saw that we saw recommended to take. We didn't use most of it.
No. Granted, like one thing, we weren't really able to like get off the boat. So like some of the stuff we brought for like docking.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do that. But I mean, it was fun though.
Yeah. So yeah, like we said, worth every penny. You can definitely tell it's planned with love. And it's planned with somebody that knows how to party.
Yes. We definitely hope that you guys enjoyed the pictures that we're sharing with you. We hope that you guys enjoyed our previous video about like the behind, like the clips that I got on the boat, because it was just so fun, and we wanted to share this experience because we love wrestling. That's why we do this. So.
And this is I would say this is the most unique thing in wrestling.
I agree. It's so unique that Jericho literally let us know that he had to patent the
system that the ring is on the ship.
Yes, because he literally had to hire engineers to figure out how to get like the ring to be safe on a cruise ship.
So it doesn't slide around and everything else.
Yes.
And it works. It works. Like, even with the strong winds and stuff, like, that thing wasn't budging.
It's like 1 ton. I don't really know what it was, but I know whatever it is, like, it's
packed in water or something.
Yes.
He explained it much better than I ever could.
Like, we learned that, like, he had originally tried to reach out to WWE. On the cruise ship at first, he wanted NXT to be on it. But this was before AEW started.
Yeah, but this was back in 2015. This was 2015 NXT, and what a hell of a cruise that would have been.
Yeah, and we were just told, and he was just told no by Vince because Vince was scared of cruise ships.
Yeah, because he had seen that story where everybody got food poisoning on a cruise ship, and Vince thought that meant every cruise ship goes that way.
I just thought that was really cool, though, because if, like, that could have completely... Like, if that would have happened,
that could have changed
Jericho and AEW. Like, AEW might not even be here because Jericho wouldn't have kind of got with the other wrestlers to kind of
AEW exists because of so many butterfly effects. Like, so many small decisions.
Yeah.
Like we found out on the Q&A. Jericho left WWE because he went second at WrestleMania. If they would have just had them open the show or main event, like, stick to the plan that they had in place.
Yeah.
And Jericho and Owen's story definitely warranted one of those spots.
It was the Festival of Friendship time, so, like, yeah.
Yeah. But we learned, had they just been treated better at that WrestleMania, he never would have thought that WWE was done with him.
Yeah.
So it's
really
stories
cool.
like that that's fascinating.
And you learn so many, like, random things that, like, you never thought. Like, I'm not going to go into details, but we literally, from, like, Ruby Soho, we learned about, like, how she got into wrestling, why she wrestles the way she does, like her college stuff. Like, honestly, I can't really remember everything she said. That's one reason why I'm not going to tell you, but also that's her story too.
Yeah.
But like, it was just really cool though.
Yeah. And what's awesome is, like, we didn't ask those questions. That came about organically because we just started with a normal conversation.
Yeah. We started out talking about the new Wednesday show, and that kind of, Ruby just kind of talked to us for like 30 minutes then. So it was really cool.
Yeah. So we definitely recommend. We will definitely be back next year.
Yes. And I'm sure you'll hear us talk about the cruise literally every episode until we're on the cruise again. It's just that much fun.
Yeah, and it's funny the day you get off the cruise, there was a guy in front of us, and I regret that we didn't get their names because we saw them a couple times.
We signed a book for them.
Yeah, we signed their
because they
book.
Were like people that they met on the ship. They would have them sign it as like
which is a really neat idea.
Really cool.
Yeah. I wish I would have got their names so we could shout them out. But he told me, because this wasn't their first cruise, but he said, like, the day that the cruise is over, he said, it's like leaving Disney World.
I agree.
I feel like that's the most apt description.
I agree.
That's true. Susan is always, by the time of vacation's over, she's always like, I'm ready to be home. I'm ready to be in my own bed. Yeah. She didn't want to get off the boat.
I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go back to the real world. I just felt like I was in this nonstop party land for a couple of days, and I didn't want to go back to the real world.
Yeah.
But it was just so much fun.
Yes.
But,
so, shout out to all the people we met on the cruise. Josh, Jessica, Sean, Bobby, Sal, Monica. You guys made it just as memorable for us.
We met so many more people, but
we just don't have time to list them all.
I don't remember anybody's name.
No. And it's crazy because some of them, like, you talk to once, and then, like,
you just keep
you see them on the rest of the ship.
Like, the people that we met at our hotel before boarding, we saw them throughout the cruise, too. We were like, oh, hey!
Yeah.
So it was just fun.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun.
It was. So, those guys make it just as memorable as the wrestling and the events itself. So I can't say enough nice things about everybody we met on the cruise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially a sum up of everything that happened.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We will answer.
Leave them in the comments. We'll be happy to answer.
Yeah.
If you were on the cruise, pop in the comments and say hello.
Yes, fellow Ragers.
Yes. But yeah, otherwise, we'll be back to our normal schedule. So next week, Saturday, we will have This Week in Wrestling.
Yes,
where we'll be back on track.
Again.
We did watch a little bit from this week. We didn't go back and watch other segments. There are some things I'm going to seek out on YouTube. Like, I'm definitely going to track down the Cody Rhodes Paul Heyman segment because I heard that was excellent.
I haven't really watched any wrestling because I haven't been able to stay awake.
Yeah.
So
like, I watched SmackDown and
I'm like completely out of
Rampage last night. We watched Dynamite on Wednesday. Good Lord, Roosh and Bryan Danielson. But anyway, we'll cover all that in the wrestling. We just kind of want to dedicate this episode to the cruise itself.
It was so much fun. We don't want to be back in the real world. It's been like a week later. We still don't want to be back in the real world. So.
Yeah, like we had a staff meeting yesterday at work, and our boss asked us how we were doing, and I told her, I was like, we're literally in mourning because we're off the boat. But it's that feeling. Like, we're less than a year away.
Yeah.
I think we're like 340 days away, I think. So... but that just gives us time to get in better shape, be able to do the things we want to do.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you to everybody we met on the ship. Thank you to the wrestlers for coming out and performing and being so cordial and nice with
everything.
With everything, yeah, essentially. Especially thanks to Chris Jericho for putting the whole thing together. It's
his baby.
Yeah,
and
it's a masterwork.
He's so proud of it.
Yes, and he said on the stage the first day, this will be the best vacation of your life, and it was 100% true.
1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000, more like it. So thanks to him for putting all of it together and putting together probably the best time that we've ever had together.
And then to end things off, we'll have to, of course, have a Lenny appearance again.
Of course. But as I say at the end of every episode, especially when it comes to the Jericho cruise, remember, wrestling is a community.
Yes. Later.